Welcome back to lockdown Perth. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate being stuck at home, not being able to go on any of the adventures that I usually would. I am lucky enough though to live on a beautiful property with tons of bushland, and today I'm going to hopefully brighten up your day during these crappy days in lockdown. We're cooking up a big feed on the campfire. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Let's light this fire and get into the video. Alrighty, I'm going to be using one of our most valuable resources today to light the fire, a roll of toilet paper. I am at home, so I'm going to cheat a bit with some matches and toilet paper. We've got a lot of wood that we've saved up over summer, and we're going to make a big ass bonfire, get some hot coals to cook a beautiful stew on this afternoon. Alrighty, logs are on the fire. Gonna try and get some nice hot coals to cook up a beautiful feast tonight. I'm gonna be cooking up a slow cooked lamb stew on the fire. Lamb stew. I'm gonna fill up this pot with a bunch of beautiful ingredients. I'm no chef whatsoever. You can ask anyone that I know, but today I'm gonna cook up one of the things I do know how to cook and do it in a backyard camping style. Super excited to get into it. Let's get cooking. So for now, I'm just gonna basically cut up all the ingredients. The base is gonna be made up of onion, garlic, a bit of olive oil, some rosemary, which we're gonna pick from our rosemary bush as well. We'll add in some mushrooms, potatoes and kale as our main veggies, and then some water, and in goes our lamb. Hopefully we're going to cook it for about 3 or so hours before dinner. I've actually got my pot right here. As I cut it off, I'm going to chuck it straight in. The onion just needs to be roughly chopped. I'm going to keep it relatively big. These are going to cook very slowly along with everything else and become super soft, and all the flavor is going to come right out of them, which is going to be exciting. But as I said, I'm going to fry them up first before we slow cook them, just to get that initial flavoring out. Just call me Gordon Ramsay, baby. That's some chopping. Alright, onion is in. Gonna go for a bit of garlic. We're gonna have it already freshly minced. Next up, we need some rosemary. I'm gonna go pick some of that. Okay, we are lucky enough to have a beautiful little rosemary bush. That looks good. Just gonna rip off a few decent bits of rosemary. Beautiful. And that's just gonna go on top to flavor everything. Beautiful rosemary. I'm going to put a few sprigs of this into it while we fry it up. That should be good. So that's what we're looking at in there. Absolutely tons of flavor. And we're going to chuck in some olive oil as well, just so we avoid sticking. All right, I'm going to cut up the rest of the veggies, but first I'm going to get this frying. So I'm going to make a little platform on the coals and get this on. On she goes. We've got our onion, rosemary, garlic and some olive oil on the pan. I'm hoping that it's going to be hot enough to start frying this up a little bit. And once that's going, we're in business, baby. Okay, while that's frying away, we're going to get the rest of the ingredients going. Got some potatoes. Once again, just going to roughly chop these. No need to be precise, and they don't have to be little tiny bits either, because we're going to cook for a couple hours, so they should get nice and soft over that time. So we've got mushroom and kale as well. I'm probably going to add these towards the end of the cook up, as they obviously don't need 3 hours to cook, so we'll leave those there for now. The lamb we're going to chuck in very soon. Just going to let this onion and garlic and all that fry up a little bit. Then we'll go in with our stock. We'll add some boiling water, and we'll be ready to wait for the next 3 hours for it all to cook up, which will be brilliant. Oh, that's looking bloody good. Onion is cooking very nicely. Alrighty, we are cooking. I am going to add a couple liters of boiling hot water We're gonna bring this to the boil essentially, and we're gonna, oh, I just lost the kettle lid. Oh yes. Saved him. All right, we're gonna add some stock cubes, crumple those into the water. It's gonna add some insane flavor. Oh my God, that smells so good. Alrighty, so we've got the stock cooking up. It is come to a nice boil. Time to put in our lamb. I've just bought a whole bunch of lamb offcuts, so really cheap, and they'll taste exactly the same once they've been cooking for a few hours. So we're gonna chuck these in. Probably do it by hand so I don't splash myself. These offcuts are also a bit fattier than some of the other cuts of lamb, and so we're gonna get a lot of flavor from that. Frankie is really interested, but they aren't for you, my friend. And all the bone marrow and everything else will give us some beautiful flavor as well. We'll also chuck in our potatoes now. I'm not sure I'll be able to fit all of these in because it is filling up pretty fast, but we'll chuck a bunch in anyway. Give it a bit of hardiness, absorb some of the beautiful stock we got in here. Awesome. I think I'll leave it at that for now. Alrighty, this is nice and full of flavor, full of meat. We'll add in the mushrooms and the kale towards the end of the cook up, but this is going to go for another 2 or 3 hours until dinner time, and I'll just keep the fire topped up, keep it boiling, or at least to a bit of a simmer, and it should get very tender and very flavorful, and I'll bring you guys back when we're finishing it off. The stew has been cooking for about 2 hours now. It is looking and smelling insane. That means it's probably got about an hour to go till dinner, so time to put the final touches on. We're going to add in some mushies, some fresh kale as well, top it off with a few sprigs of rosemary to give it a bit more flavor as it cooks out over the last hour. We're going to cook some fresh Jaffles with the Jaffa iron tonight to have with our stew, and I can't wait to eat. So I'm going to finish up this and we'll get going. This smells insanely good. Oh yes. And we're going to put a few little fresh leaves of kale in here. Add a bit of green. You always need a little bit of green. Nice full pot, that's for sure. Gonna give it a little bit of a taste. That's good. That is really, really good. Wow. Awesome. Just gonna top it off with a bit of rosemary, which we'll pull out after. And that is awesome. Okay, to go along with the stew tonight, we're cooking Jaffles. So if you don't know what that is, we're cooking it in a Jaffle iron, which slams shut like this. Basically, bread face down with butter. We're gonna make a couple now for the family. Everyone's put in their orders. So these are gonna be cheese, and we're putting some braised steak and onion in this, the OG Jaffle filling. So, oh yes. All right, then we're gonna chuck on our top layers of our sandwich. Butter goes on the outside because, as I said, we're going to slam these bad boys shut. Like so. And then, where's my knife? We're going to feed all the crusts to the dogs, otherwise they're just going to burn. And into the hot coals we go. I basically just want to find a really nice hot spot like that. That's pretty much perfect. And a couple minutes on both sides. I'll show you guys when they're done. They're going to turn out brilliant. As you can see, our stew is pretty much ready to go. That's looking real nice. Super excited to dish up and enjoy this beautiful campfire with the family over a nice warm meal. All right, we just popped out our first 2 Jaffles. Look how good these bad boys look. These are some braised steak and onion. Nice and crispy on the outside, beautifully flavorful on the inside. Just put in another couple. The stew is done. How good does that look? We're gonna feast it on it right now. Bloody oath. As you guys can probably tell, the sun's gone down. It's getting very dark, so I'm not gonna be able to do much more filming tonight, but food's about half an hour away. Jaffles are ready to start cooking. Super stoked that you guys have joined me today for my little at-home cook-up. I love this kind of stuff, so even in lockdown, I'm glad that I can do something like this. Thanks so much for watching again, guys. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy. Videos coming every week for you guys, and check out my Patreon account below as well if you want to support me as a creator. You'll get some cool perks. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.